Hi, welcome back to Guide to Solidworks. Today we're going to go through a tutorial that takes us through how to make a intertwining Mobius strip. So this should be quite an interesting one. It's actually not massively difficult, so this is a good one to try out and have a little play with. I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible and as easy and as quick as possible. Now if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoy the content as you go along, please give us a big thumbs up. If you've got any comments or anything you want to share, chuck them in them comments below and I'll try and get back to you. Okie dokie, right, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off by, in the front plane here, sketching, and I'm going to sketch a rectangle using the center point. So center rectangle from our origin. I'm going to drag that out. Now I'm going to make this 100mm long. And I'm going to make it 10mm diameter. Well, 10mm wide, like so. Okay. And from there, I am then going to extrude that. So features, extrude. And make that 5 thick. In fact, let's go 2.5 thick. Make it a bit thinner, like so. Okay, once we've got that in place, I'm going to, on this front face, sketch, and I'm going to create a circle. Now if I turn this so it's normal to, so if I hit Control and 8, that will turn it normal to my screen. Now I'm going to pick up an endpoint here and I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to make that 7.5 wide, like so, there. Now once I've got that in place, I'm just going to go to features and I'm going to cut that through, and that can go through my model like so. Okay, so I've got this one cut off here. I want that all the way along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pattern that. I'm going to do a linear pattern based on that cut extrude. Now I've got this in place on the end, so I'm going to take a direction, and my direction is going to be all the way along the top here. Okay, I'm going to have 11 of these, so including the one that I've got there, that makes a 10 overall, and I'm going to have them spaced 10mm apart. So 10mm apart, 11 of them. Okay, tick that, and that gives me my holes through my strip that I've got so far. Okay, now at the moment you're thinking, how am I going to turn a straight bar into a Mobius strip? So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. I'm just going to add some quick fillets onto this. So let's go a 1mm fillet, and I'm going to go that side and this side, like so, and tick off at the top there. Okay, so with that in place, I now want to use what we call the flex tool. Now we can type that in our command box up here. If we go into inserts and go to features, we get our flex tool here. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this body. So I'm going to select twist or twisting. I'm going to select the body itself. Now I'm going to twist it by 180 degrees. So you can see in the preview there, that is now twisted along the path, like so, giving me the end points finishing in exactly the same position. Tick that at the top. Okay, so you can see now we've got that twisted profile along that same line. Now this is starting to look a bit like a DNA strip in a way, but what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap it around itself. to make it connect to each end. So I'm going to use the flex tool again. So I'm going to go to insert, features, and I want that flex tool again. Now, rather than twisting, I'm going to use bending, and I'm going to select this component again. And I'm going to bend around 360 degrees, which will wrap it around on itself and connect the two ends together. Okay, so now we've got that in place, what we are going to do now is create a second one, but I'm not going to go through the process of remodeling it. I'm just going to change that so that we have the nicer view of it, like so. I'm going to copy and move this. So the way we can do that is if we go into our inserts again, and this time in the features section, I'm going to be looking for move and copy here. Okay, now in this component at the moment we have the copy and move selected. If I unclick that, you will get, sorry, not that one. If we click constraints, this is what, if you've never used the tool before, this is what it will start off like. So you just come down to the bottom here and you hit translate/rotate, and it will change it to the copy process. So we can copy it and move it to where we want it to be. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to select the body. That will put in what we want to copy. Then we are going to highlight how we're going to move this. So I'm just going to turn it onto the top and view to the top. Now the thickness of this across is 10. So what I'm going to do in the y-axis, I'm going to move this 5 that way to make it halfway. So in my y-axis here it's 13, so I'm just going to turn that to, take that another 5, so minus 5 off that, gives me that to 18. Okay. Now with that then, I also want to rotate this around. I'm going to rotate it around the z-axis. Okay. So the way I'm going to do that is, if I flip it exactly 180, it's not going to fit where I want it. What I need to know is, if I turn this around, I want to get these midsections straight through the holes. So let's have a look at how we can work that out. So effectively, this is 360 degrees. So I'm going to go 360 degrees and divide that by the number of holes that I've got, which in this case is 10. Like so. Okay, now what I'm going to actually do is rotate it 180, not 360. So because I'm only doing half of that, I'm going to have to half that value. So divide by 2. So that gives me the 18, and now you can see that they're lining up in the centre of the holes. However, we don't want it to be in the same position, we want it to be offset by 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus the 18 that we've just figured out, and we should get a flipped offset in relationship to the position that we just had. Now if it's not coming out exactly where we want it, we're going to have to move the position slightly again. So let's take this back to 13, and it's 162 that we had there. Now that's not playing along, so rather than going full 5, let's go minus 2.5 off that, giving me 162 there, and that positions me right in the centre. So because we are flipped around, it's half of the distance. So I do apologise about that. So rather than it being 5, we just needed to take 2.5 rather than the 5 off, giving me the copy exactly in the centre of all of the holes. There we go. So we found out our rotation. We found out it's 2.5, which is the half of the distance, if that makes sense. And that gives us our second Mobius strip in exactly the right position. So tick there, and we've now got our duplicated model with them interacting with each other without touching, but going through each other, so they are locked together. What I'm going to do there is I'm just going to change or add an appearance to these. So body, I'm going to go high gloss polymer, bring this down, I'm going to turn one to black, like so, and I'm going to do the same on the other, add an appearance, do it on the body, and this time I'm going to go for a red, like so, and tick. So what we have here now is our fully modelled up Mobius strip, just using some very simple processes here in terms of we're not using lots and lots of different methods. Now that shouldn't take you very long to have a go at, it's just a quick demo of how we go through it. Please have a practice, see how you get on. It's just something of a little bit of fun to try out, and I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the content, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.